concept of military intervention is highly controversial in its nature. It is done on a complete case-to-case basis with both ethical and political aspects being taken into consideration in determining the cost-to-benefit ratio at present, and discussing the continuing conflict in Syria for action or inaction from the United States as the appropriate response has been through stances of extremes, those in support of full action that argue that it is the moral obligation of the United States to act and political benefits will arise in doing so, versus those for inaction who oppose an increase in the United States presence under the mindset of bias against risk. In light of recent events, however, centering on the chemical attack occurring on April 4th from President Bashar al-Assad that held a mass death toll on innocent women and children, another position regarding an appropriate response has been of increasing focus. Despite the reluctance of President Obama and his administration to increase the United States presence in Syria, President Donald Trump deems these recent atrocities to be significant in placing the United States in a position to respond in force. In determining potential routes of action in 2017 from the United States, it is important to understand how the unrest in Syria reached this extreme point. In March of 2011 is when conflict in Syria first initiated as a civil war, one side consisting of President Bashar al-Assad and his regime, versus those against this regime that sought his resignation in a government of freedom and democracy. August of 2011, over a year into the Civil War, President Barack Obama first spoke of his infamous Red Line, stating the chemical weapon use from the Assad regime upon civilians would be crossing a red line and therefore prompt action from the United States in Syria. In 2013 is when ISIS we know today came to form. Initially entering Syria in the civil war to fight the Assad regime, the extremists were able to gain strength in the broken territory and establish themselves. This then became a triangle of conflict between the rebels, the Assad regime, and ISIS. August of 2013 is when the pressure for the United States to intervene in Syria peaked during President Obama's time in office. It was 1 year after his Red Line establishment when President Assad used chemical weapons on rebel protesters, killing roughly 1,500. But still, despite his threat of action a year prior, President Barack Obama chose to withhold from further action in Syria for the offset cost-to-benefit ratio for the United States to come from doing so. In September of 2013, the United States made an agreement with Russia, an ally of the Assad regime, for them to remove or destroy all chemical weapons in Syria. From the set deadline for this was June of 2014, and when this time came, it was declared that all chemical weapons had been removed. In January of 2017 was the next significant turning point for United States involvement in Syria. President Donald Trump placed a ban on Syrian refugees while showing support for the implementation of safe zones in the country. Safe zones would counter the threat of unidentified Syrians entering the United States while achieving the essential goal of increasing the livelihood for civilians in Syria. However, due to a lack of detailed or realistic implementation outlines, safe zones received little support. On April 4th, 2017 is when the most recent and major point of Syrian conflict occurred. Another chemical weapon attack from the Assad regime that killed innocent women, children, and babies. This use of chemical weapons following the official removal in 2014 has caused a mass reevaluation of the United States' current position in the conflict. This is a clip from the press conference in which Donald Trump discussed the chemical attack and what this means for the United States. Clip plays. As he infers in his speech, this event signifies a turning point for both his personal position and therefore the aligning position of the United States in the conflict ongoing in Syria. 2 days later, on April 6th, unlike President Barack Obama's hollow threats regarding a red line, President Donald Trump substantiated his speech and launched 59 Tomahawk missiles upon the government base from which the chemical attack originated from. This was the first direct action against the Assad regime from the United States throughout the 6 years of conflict. The strike was launched at 8:40 p.m., a time at which there was minimal activity at the base, with an essential purpose of destroying all things that allow operation from the airfield in an attempt to eliminate further usage of chemical weapons from the government. Although President Donald Trump received differing reactions to this airstrike, the basis of his actions aligned with the unavoidable truth that the United States to Syria relation. Traditional action or inaction will no longer suffice as a solution, and that the United States must react in some mechanism to the conflict. This being said, it does not mean that President Trump's decision to attack the Assad regime directly was the appropriate response. However, what that appropriate response is from the United States remains under discussion.